will show you the true dark side.
What's up, Godzilla fans? Goodyear54 here, and sorry guys, real quick, just about, the week-long hiatus. I actually had a lot of stuff going on, surprisingly, and so I just want to say sorry. Also, for news, I also want to say that my last video was the FNAF novel, and that did come out, and it's pretty good, actually. I've been reading it. Just so you guys know, but you guys aren't here for that. You guys are here for the Star Wars spoiler discussion. So, also, though, I hope you guys really like that little 11-second intro, because it took me over 4 hours to make. The lightsaber effects were the killing part. I never did lightsaber effects, and I know they're not good at all, but come on, I tried my best, But, yeah, guys, so I hope you guys like that. But, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long this is actually going to run for. Also, though, I'm not sure if I'm going to put, a lot of pictures. Probably not, because it's pretty late, and I want to get this out as soon as possible. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is I'm probably going to have one long picture, or I'm going to have, different pictures for different topics I discuss. So if you guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, don't watch this, don't pay attention to the screen. This is a video where you want to, be doing other stuff while you're listening to it, kind of like a podcast thing, So, yeah. Anyways, those guys, so, Star Wars The Force Awakens, I'm not sure exactly how long I want this to go on for. I thought I would just give my opinions, Just talk freely. Spoilers are heavy in this one. So, yeah. I guess I'll just start with the characters. So, let's start with Finn. Finn, I thought, was a really good character. If you guys don't know, John Boyega plays him. Basically, he's a stormtrooper. His first mission, he didn't kill anybody. He refused to. He breaks out. He rescues this guy, Poe Dameron. He meets up with Rey, and they have to go fight the First Empire, or the First Order. So, I mean, yeah, that's basically his characters in a nutshell. He's a stormtrooper turned good. And I really liked his character. A few key moments where, well, actually, I liked how there's a trope in movies to where, when he has a secret, because he didn't tell everybody else that he used to be a stormtrooper. I liked how they kind of, cut that trope halfway through, and they were like, nah, we're not going to save this for the end, and, make a relationship drama. We're just, he's just going to say, oh, yeah, I was a stormtrooper, and, yeah, So I found that good, that they just kind of breezed past that. My favorite thing about him, though, by far, was the part when, the ending part, when, Kylo Ren comes after him and Rey, and he says, we're not done, traitor, or whatever, and I think Rey has a lightsaber. Kylo forces him back, or forces her into a tree. She gets knocked out, and then he grabs the lightsaber. My favorite thing is that this guy, he's never used a lightsaber before, besides that little scuffle he had with the what do you call it, the stormtrooper guy, with the melee stormtrooper. So he's never used a lightsaber before, besides that moment. But you see in his eyes, when I was watching it, I wanted to put Rocky music to it. When he grabs it, he gets up and he pulls out the lightsaber. And my favorite thing, though, is he's like, okay, I know you're better than me, I know you're stronger than me, I know I'm probably gonna get killed, but you know what? I have to do what has to get done. Plus, Rey, she's looking. No, but that was by far, I think, my favorite moment from him. Just that part when he picks up the lightsaber and knowing that he's gonna lose, he still goes at it, to protect Rey. So I really like that about his character. Explanation why he turned, why he realized what he was doing was bad. They didn't really elaborate on too much, sadly. I would have liked a little more, but, yeah. Anyway, so that's basically it for Finn. Well, actually, no. Also, John Boyega, I just want to say, John Boyega does a really, really good job in this. So, yeah. Now we have Rey. Rey, if you guys don't know, is played by Daisy Ridley, I think. Yeah, and she is really good in this movie. Also, first of all, she's a very good actress. I think she really played this character well. All the characters in the movie are actually surprisingly good. Although, if you guys know who Max Landis is, he appeared on Screen Junkies a few times. I will give him this. He said that the characters in this are like video game characters, to where they need to do what like they do what they have to, like that the plot does. Like, I will admit, Finn did a better job in fighting with Kylo than he should have, but they never really face real, actual like troubles or drama. But still, anyways, Rey. So basically, she's a scavenger on this planet called Jakku, I think it is. It's really late, but actually, it's 3 in the morning. So, anyway, she's a scavenger, and she's been living on her own, waiting for her family to return, and her family's never going to return. And, basically, she meets up with Finn, then the First Order comes and attacks, and stuff like that, and they have to get in the Millennium Falcon and meet Han Solo, and then so on and so forth, And, yeah, I just really love Daisy Ridley. She did a really good job, I thought. She like I said, she was really good in this. For a few key moments in her. Well, honestly, like, same goes for John Boyega. They both did a really good job. Like, there's no select key moment where you're like, that really is the part where she shined or something like that. They all did such a good job in this movie. Actually, something I didn't really expect in this movie, to have good characters, but You have to love the end fight with Kylo Ren and her. Although I will admit, the end fight to me, I'll get more into it, but it was kind of forgettable. Like, I barely remember it, But I loved her. I loved that part because again, she's never actually fought with a lightsaber at all. And she's doing pretty good, actually, up until she gets to the cliff point. And the whole time she's fighting Kylo Ren, she basically is running away, getting her butt kicked. And then she's at this cliff point, and then he says, "Come to the dark side, I can show you the ways of the Force." And then basically she's like, "The Force." And if she closes her eyes, she taunts it. And she basically starts kicking his butt. And, yeah, it doesn't make as much sense, And there's always that argument where people are like, "Well, we'll see, because all the puzzle pieces aren't connected." I think that's unfair to say for, like, other movies, like, I don't know, they're out there. I can't, well, Godzilla 2014, maybe, I mean, somehow, maybe, I don't know, they're out there, though. You guys know it's late, but, so yeah, that was definitely a key moment. Also, though, I just love her interaction with Harrison Ford, which I will also get into with Han Solo, but, she was really good there. She's an experienced pilot, and, she, overall, again, with the Max Landis thing, I always said, they're like video game characters where they never really struggle. They do what they have to do that the plot demands. I'll give them that, and it's true for her character as well. She doesn't really struggle that much, but she's a really good actress, and I love that we have a strong female Jedi now. So yeah, that's really good. But yeah, and now on to the minor characters like Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron in this movie, he was just really awesome. He's the new Han Solo, I would say, actually. He's this kind of easygoing, laid-back kind of guy. And right in the opening, actually, let me talk about his character a bit. In the opening, basically what happens is that he's talking to this old guy, and he gives him BB-8, the droid, which has the map to Luke Skywalker. And basically what happens is that, basically Kylo Ren destroys this village and stuff like that. Oh, knocked over my drink. Destroys this village and stuff like that. And he finds the old man, and he chops him with the lightsaber. And actually, Poe Dameron, he tries to shoot Kylo Ren, but Kylo Ren with the Force, like, pauses the bolt in midair, and it freezes there for, like, a long time. He's not even like trying, it's just there with the Force. And basically he sits him down, he talks to him, and then they're quiet, and the moment breaks when he asks, "So who talks first?" it was a really funny moment, It kind of ruined it a bit, like, the seriousness, and it was funny. Like, comedy is comedy, if it's funny, it's funny. I like it. But it kind of ruined the moment a little bit, not that much, But, so yeah, basically his character goes on to be a fighter pilot and stuff like that. And yeah, and then of course we have Harrison Ford, Chewbacca, Carrie Fisher. We have C-3PO. I can't remember the actor's name because nobody really cares about him. Nah, he's cool. Then you have R2D2 and stuff like that. BB-8. First of all, Harrison Ford, he did a really good job in this. I'm sure a lot of you guys know though that he actually wanted to die in Return of the Jedi. So basically, like I said, guys, it's spoilers. Harrison Ford dies. Get over it. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. I know this is like really unscripted. I might edit that out. I don't know. It's late, like I said. But anyway, so yeah, Han Solo dies, but we'll talk more about that later as well. And his character, though, it's not the same Han Solo, which is good, actually. His character did grow. You know, he's more of an adult man rather than just... what's that one phrase they say? An old man playing a young man's game. Yeah, he's not doing any of that. He's an old man playing an old man's game, but twisted from a young man's game, which is... no, I don't know. But yeah, Harrison Ford was really good in this movie. His acting and everybody has good chemistry in this, though. Also, like Finn and Poe Dameron, they have great chemistry because they meet in the beginning, and actually, Finn breaks him out, and they escape. And Poe Dameron is apparently dead. He takes his jacket, but I mean, like everybody in this movie has great chemistry, especially with Rey. Han Solo and them have great chemistry. They just kind of go together. And Chewbacca, you know, is always the same and stuff like that. And then Carrie Fisher, she's barely in it, is Princess Leia, but she does really good as well. I really like her in it. And yeah. So then we have C-3PO. You know, he's C-3PO. The only big part he really gets is when you see Princess Leia, like, you know, Han Solo and them kind of have their moment where it goes dun 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 dun. I don't know. And then C-3PO comes out, ruins the movie. He's like, "Oh my God, Han Solo, you probably don't recognize me because my red arm." And they're like, "Oh, that's all you get. That's all. Yeah, that's all screen time you get. Nobody cares about you anymore." Also, though, I do want to say that Captain Phasma really sucked. Like, she was really, really disappointing. And I do know, like, I kind of know what they're doing with her, though. Captain Phasma, like, basically she's set up to be this ultra BA character, you know, and she, you know, in the trailers they're marketing the crap out of her, and she did nothing, really. She apparently died in a trash compactor, which again was kind of a reference to the original series and A New Hope, I think it was. But basically, though, I mean, I think they're gonna set her up to be kind of like the next Boba Fett. And I know a lot of people said this. I know it sounds unoriginal, but really, when I came out of the theater, I was thinking, what if she's gonna be the next Boba Fett? You know? And yeah, that's really all I have to say to her because she did nothing. And R2D2, we'll talk definitely more about him later, but he was R2D2, you know, not actually barely in it at all. And then BB-8 was hilarious. This is how you do some little quirky, kind of little funny comedic relief type character, even though everybody technically is in this. He's a really funny, cute little droid. So yeah. And then also Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is actually, again, spoilers, Kylo Ren is actually Han Solo's son, Ben Solo. And yeah, I like his character, kind of. I'm a little conflicted. Like, in the beginning, he's a strong, menacing character, actually. And I kind of like that a lot, you know? And I'm glad they gave him a little bit more character depth. But my only problem is everybody's hyping him up to be this, like, great character. And, like, oh, you understand where he's coming from, but honestly, I don't. Like, okay, so let me get this straight. Luke apparently trained him. He went rogue, and now he became leader of the First Empire, of the First Order. I don't really understand. He's like the light, the dark. It's conflicting, and it's like I don't feel that kind of pain. Like, someone, like, think about it. Someone like Wilson Fisk in Daredevil, and I know I have to bring up Daredevil, but think about it. He's such a he's one of those characters where it's like you understand him. You don't agree with what he's doing, but you understand why he's doing them. Because he killed his father, and then he had to, his mother helped him and stuff like that. Not only that, but he also, like, watched his mother get abused. So he wants to get rid of the scum in this city. He wants to clean his city, just in a more dark, violent way, the way that he's always known. But really, I don't understand. I don't really understand, Ben Solo's or Kylo Ren's kind of conflict between the light and the dark. It's something that I don't really. Me personally, I can't understand. And that's why I don't get it. And yeah, but like I said, I like him a lot, and a key moment for him would be actually it's a little interrogation scene with him and Rey, and basically like she's saying you're just a guy behind a mask, and he takes off the mask, and it's kind of weird because like it's just this like pretty little white boy, kind of this kind of dark emo Darth Vader. I don't remember where I got that from. I didn't think of that though. I wish I did, but he's kind of like, oh, I hate my life, kind of looking with the long hair and stuff, and yeah, I mean he's all right, and I think he got his butt kicked a little more than he should have in the end fight, but yeah, I also just love his temper, or his what do you call him? Temper. What do you call them? But God, it's really late. What do you call them? The baby fits. I don't remember what it's called. Temper term. God, I can't remember. God, it's on the tip of my tongue. God. Temperate? No. Temper. By the way, this is staying in the video. Temper tantrums. That's it. Temper tantrums. God, that was okay. Yeah, but like someone gives him like news and stuff like that. He's like, no, and he cuts up the whole thing. So I love that part about his character. And yeah, that's really all the big key characters, Oh, actually, no, Maz Kanata was in here too. I like Maz Kanata. She's all right, Little too CGI, doesn't really fit in that well. The actress was good though. I liked her. Also, the character that Andy Serkis played, Supreme Leader Snoke, he was pretty good too. Thank God he is not like King Kong sized. That would just be ridiculous. Like, can you imagine Rey having to like jump all around like the prequel Jedis did? Yeah, that would be ridiculous. But, yeah, so, let's talk about the negatives now. The overall negatives. First of all, this movie is too much of a repeat, and I'm sure this is going to be a repeat of what other people said by now, but it's too much of a repeat of A New Hope, with a lot of stuff. The Jedi on a desert planet who, this droid who has information, stuff like that. And, gets picked up, gets basically trapped into this mess that he can't get himself out of, or she can't get herself out of. And also the Death Star bit, where it's all like, it's just another Death Star. It doesn't matter how big it is. I mean, I'll admit it's cool that it killed 5 planets, but you only saw one of them really blowing up, I think. And, again, it was alright. It just was too much of a repeat, of everything, really. And Han Solo even does it to where he's like, oh, yeah, it's just bigger, It always has a place where it has to blow up, And actually, that's a little cheating to the audience, because, like, for some reason, when people say that in movies, like, when they make fun of themselves or what they're doing, audiences are like, okay, now it's funny, now it's okay because they acknowledge it, but no, it's really not, it's too much of a repeat in too many ways. Also, the Han Solo's death, I liked it a lot. It was also sad, but I also knew it was coming. Like, right when he stepped onto that bridge, a 2-foot wide bridge with no freaking railings, he walks onto it, and he's like, Ben! And he turns around. You're like, oh, God, it's over. And when it goes through him, I love the sound effect it makes. It's like, and it has this kind of echoing effect, kind of like the sound when Anakin sliced off, what's his name? Count Dooku's head. It was a really cool sound effect, actually. I really like it. And everybody screams in Chewbacca's scream. He goes, no! you know, and it made it like that was a really like moment where you also get the chills, not just the death. And he puts his hand on his son's face and he's like, you know, and it was a sad moment. And he falls. Now, I don't think I was thinking, could he come back? You know, that's a hard thing to say because things like Darth Maul, for example, he came back, he got sliced in half. You know, it's just that Harrison Ford has, said he wanted to die for so long, or he wanted to die in Return of the Jedi. So it's like, is he gonna come back? I don't know if he'll come back. That's a hard one, I don't know, but yeah. And then also though you have things like Luke. Luke is another big point. I was disappointed in that. I think he should have said something at least, because you build this character up so much, Luke, it's like, oh my god, is he alive, And also, first I want to talk about R2-D2, bullcrap. After Han Solo dies, after the big fight, R2-D2 turns back on for some reason, because he was actually off for this whole time, and then he magically turns on, and right when they need it to, and the map is put together and stuff like that, and then they find Luke. Like, a lot of people are saying it's because of the Force. I just think it's, I mean, it might be, it probably is. Still, though, nevertheless, it's still lazy, I think. Also, guys, I know this actually might sound abrupt, like, because I'm doing this in post, as I did with also Captain Phasma, but, because I forgot to mention this. But, actually, also, I do want to say the First Order is a bit too Nazi-like. I mean, like, seriously, there's a part when all the stormtroopers, it's actually in the trailers, there's a part in the trailers where all the stormtroopers are basically in front of this guy, and I forget his name, basically this admiral guy, he's standing there, and he's German sounding too, and he goes, that first or he goes, what is it called? The resistance shall not be, and he's going, ah, and then he raises his hand, and all the stormtroopers raise their hands too, and it's like, okay, a little bit too Nazi-like, even though they're based off of Nazis, and yeah. Also, though, what they do is kind of like they kind of take children, and it's kind of like the Hitler Youth. Like there's a lot of Nazi theme in this, and yeah. So, also, though, finally with Luke, basically, the original Jedi Temple, she climbs up there, and what I found weird is that actually, Princess Leia, she stays behind with the Millennium Falcon and Chewbacca and C-3PO, R2-D2, and BB-8, I think? I can't remember. But, yeah. And she goes up there, and she sees Luke, and he just turns around, and, she's holding out the lightsaber. You've all seen it by now. I don't know, it's just a bit, it's disappointing, Shows up for about 4 seconds. And then after that, where it's like, it goes, dun, 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 with the credits, and it's like, God dang you, J.J. Abrams, So yeah. Also though, I think it was kind of stupid because Finn, you see him, he's unconscious and stuff like that because he got sliced up pretty bad in the fight actually, and we all know he's alive, and she kisses him on the head, which I think is, I think he deserves more than that, for what he did, probably when he wakes up though, but yeah, overall though, I will admit I had a lot more fun at this movie than I thought I would, because my history with Star Wars, basically, I'm not a huge fan. I don't go out and read the books and stuff like that, I might now that they've exiled the, or the expanded universe is not now canon. They have their own. I might actually try to read up on that stuff, now that it's not canon. The, all 200, 300 books, So, yeah, that's pretty good. I might actually do that, but I like the original trilogy, I liked, the prequels were okay, actually, I thought, I know they're not the best movies, they have redeeming qualities, though, like the Darth Maul fight, man, that will probably be the best fight of all time, in Star Wars, although, I like this movie, is what I'm trying to say. I had a lot more fun than I thought I would, and, yeah, I'll give it a solid B, it's not an A, because I think some parts are too much of a rehash, but I'll give it a solid B. I think it's very deserving of that, a B plus, a high B. So yeah, guys. But if you guys have stuck around for my 22-minute, I got it right on the mark, 22-minute video, you guys are awesome. So thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, guys. But tell me though, did you guys like it? I liked it a lot, actually. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching though. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Also though, again, what was your favorite part of the whole movie? That would be a hard part for me. I really love that Finn part though, when he picks up the lightsaber. Like, to me, because we've never seen a non-Jedi use a lightsaber. I'm not saying like the Han Solo part where he cuts up the tauntaun, like where he actually goes against someone with the Force who is a Sith. That's just like the best moment to me. It's like the Rocky music goes dun 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 dun. But yeah, that would probably be one of my favorite moments. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching again, though, and Godzilla 54 out.